And good evening and welcome to Game 2 of the ECJLL Garnet Knight Finals. We got the hometown Halifax Hurricanes taking on the visiting Sackville Sportwheels Wolves. The Hurricanes coming off a 6-4 victory in Game 1. Smitty, what did you think of Game 1?
Game 1 was exactly what we thought it would be. Back and forth action, intensity from the opening face-off to the end. Decision was up in the air until the final buzzer. Even the Wolves had a chance at the end, put one off the bar. We couldn't have asked for a better game and expecting the same tonight. So I know the Wolves are going to be fired up after that one. Excited to see Coach Jay Tishmarsh and Kyle Pierce back on the bench, which I think will add a piece to that. But I'm expecting the same thing here tonight. I think heat is going to play a factor, though. It is a hot one out there.
For sure. Having Coach Jay and having Coach Peace back is going to be huge for the Wolves. And not that the young coaches can't do the job right. Jay especially is such a huge part of that, franchise. It's really like looking back for The Rock, that support kind of system, especially for these young players.
Yeah, I got nothing against the young coaches last night. They played.
No.
They did an unbelievable job coaching. But there's just that experienced person who's been there all year, and there's a little change when someone's not there. It functions a little differently, and so it gets them back in a big piece. Last night, goaltending, Mitch, what do you think? I
thought goaltending both ends was awesome. Noah Cox made some huge saves in there for the Wolves, and Gage McPhee, he kind of made it look easy. And when you don't necessarily always give a goalie his due if he makes it look easy. But, that's what good goalies are capable of doing. You look at Dylan Ward for the Colorado Mammoth. It looks like he doesn't do anything. And I always tell young goalies, you got to be economic in your movement. You have to move with a purpose and don't because you only have that limited gas tank. So to see these goalies kind of, they're looking really hard to beat for these shooters. So hopefully we have more of that low-scoring, tough lacrosse that we saw in Game 1.
It's going to be interesting. I'm looking for one of the sides of the offense to explode a little bit. But Friday nights, the Wolves, Tyler Puma, did an unbelievable job on Glenn Holmes all night, just completely shut him down. And then the Wolves were really working from the top and not the crease, where I thought there were some opportunities, except for the final play where they had that opportunity right in the crease. And I wonder if they'll go back to that or find a new way to get Holmes open tonight.
They'll have to succeed. They have to get to the dirty areas of the floor. They can't. And that's what you want as a defense. You want to be able to set up, play good, stay at home D, and let your goalie eat up those shots from the outside. And that's what they were kind of accepting as an offense the other night, and you can't do that. You have to cut. You have to keep cutting. You got to break down their defensive units, so it will be they're two great coaching staffs. I'm really excited to see the adjustments that either side made, because that's going to show on the floor for sure.
100%. I think there were some nerves in Game 1. There's a lot of younger players now that we had two sets of age groups graduate last year, and I think they were a little nervous for Game 1. So let's get this one going.
We're going to take a short break for the Mi'kmaq Honor Song as well as O Canada.
Would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Acknowledging that we are in Mi'kmaq, the traditional ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people, is a way of showing respect for and honoring our shared history and shared treaty relationship. Our relationship based on peace and friendship. It is very important that we continue to recognize our shared history.
Ready for this one. Just to note, Mitch, to start it off, we have the same 3 encore officials as we did in game 1, who I thought did a great job. We got Chris, Mo, and Scott out there. Only one change in the officials is in the timekeeper box, of course, because we're in a different rink, and we have former Dartmouth Bandit Niall Thier in the penalty box tonight, taking care of the time clock.
It looks like he's joined by Twin City Arrow teammate Nate Jollymore. Both had a great senior year this year. It's great to see those two hanging out in the off-season. Oddly, Nate grew up playing for the Hurricanes and Niall for the Bandits. Just goes to show, like what we talked about in that senior lacrosse last game, excuse me. Dulong, Cowan.
We've got some legends in the box there.
That's right, exactly it. Dulong, Cowan set to do battle in the draw circle, as we've seen for most of the series so far. Jostling on either restraining line. Puma. And I believe that's McDougall. Looks like a violation here will end up with the Hurricanes' possession off the draw.
They're bringing the intensity right out of the gate on this one. No one's given an inch.
Grayson finds Holmes in the middle. That ball ends up on the ground, recovered by Barkhouse, as Holmes meets him behind the net. Thought there might be a tripping call there. That ball is thrown up into the mesh, and the Hurricanes recover.
Good start by the Hurricanes on pressure. That's one thing they didn't do as much in last game until the third. So obviously saw something there by Coach McNeil and bringing it out already.
Oh, Holmes in the middle, able to bury one there, as that's the start the Hurricanes wanted.
What did we talk about at the pregame, Mitch? Was you got to find a way to get Holmes open, and they obviously knew that. It was a talk in the dressing room. That's 2 cuts he's had through the middle. First one he missed, second one he connected on there, and you can see him just beat the top corner on Noah.
And look how hard he's working off ball in that replay. He is busting his butt to get around Cooper Puma, and he is able to be hit there by number 4.
You know, it's interesting you say that. In game 1, I thought they were trying to get him the ball and do everything through him, and this time it's a little bit more of off-ball movement, which I think is stronger for him.
I couldn't agree more.
Ball's down in the corner there. Wolves pressuring it there. One of those hot potato ones that no one can pick up at the moment. Wolves getting their first offensive possession in the corner, bringing it out to the top.
10 seconds here to work for the Wolves, as that looks like a moving pick. We'll get that ball back to the Hurricanes. Grayson now taking it up for the Hurricanes. Good D there from Puma. Grayson again trying to go over the top of his defender. He'll flip it down to Allison, as that ball ends up almost on net. The Wolves will recover here. Normando taking it up for the, gets it to Wheatley. Wheatley met at half. Good pressure there from the Hurricanes. Muir now with the ball, gets it over to the lefty Lacroix. Lacroix steps into that, that's just wide. As the shot intended for the far post just misses.
The Wolves have been close on a lot of their opportunities in the last game in this one, so just looking to get it just a little bit more inside the post there, and they're going to bury one pretty quick here.
Exactly. Glazebrook gets the ball from Devine. Good movement here now to Dylan Campbell, the product from Cape Breton.
Gotta love those Cape Breton kids.
Hey, the more lacrosse on the island, the better, in my opinion. Great strip there from Bouchard, puts the ball on the ground, but a loose ball push from Barkhouse is going to get the Hurricanes to recover that. Lynch starts this up for the Hurricanes, gets it to Holmes. Holmes puts the shoulder down and drives a beautiful save there from Noah Cox.
Holmes is definitely motivated tonight after only getting 1 goal, 1 assist last game. He's taking a little bit on his back already.
No, and that's what the Hurricanes needed, somebody to step up, as it was certainly a team effort in the victory in game 1. Broussard goes over the top to Baird. Baird, 10 seconds here to work, gets a pick from Forsyth, able to use it. A big save there from McPhee. And looks like a delayed penalty here for the Wolves. Cowan will wait for the rest of that offensive unit as he flips it to G. Holmes. 13 here on the shot clock. Gets the ball to Grayson. Grayson with a beautiful bouncer, finding that halfway point in that post. That was a great shot here. As he shoots around his defender, we get a second look. As Holmes just able to see Grayson there. Good D from Puma. He's able to shoot around the hip. Great shot selection there from Francis Grayson.
Just a note on that goal, Mitch, there was a slashing call on the Wolves that got obviously taken off by the goal, but obviously the 6th man out made a difference there. Both goals have been on the non-stick side of Cox tonight, so wondered if there was something in the video they saw and are attacking that. This is the start the Hurricanes wanted for sure.
Good point, Smitty. O'Connell has the ball here for the Wolves, gets a pick from West, tries to force the flip back to West, much to the dismay of the fans. And that ball is recovered by the Canes. Holmes now taking it in deep, met by Bouchard as his shot goes wide. That's going to go over and back, but it is kept onside by the Hurricane player. A big outside shot there from Glazebrook ends up in the feet of Cox.
Great play there by the Hurricanes. You don't have to, the ball can go over as long as it doesn't touch the ground, and making sure that that didn't happen and hitting it back over to keep the offense having an opportunity.
Great job there by, I believe it was Cutter Devine who was the one able to keep that ball on his side of half. Broussard over to Wheatley, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gonna need one here. As that is wide, does not get the reset. Devine.
The Wolves got to get inside here, Mitch. They're really playing the outside game, and the Hurricanes are just collapsing high because everyone's up the top. They got to get it down low. I think this is an Ethan Muir time. Try to find him down low and do that drive from the side or anything.
The sense of urgency has to happen now. Yeah. It cannot. The sense of urgency can't come in the last 5 minutes. You have to get those 2 goals back as soon as possible. A big outside shot doesn't make its way through, but it will be recovered by Normando. Normando. Oh, a beautiful shot on the run. That goes off of the post and out. I like that shot selection from Normando.
That's what the Wolves needed. They needed a spark.
Oh, I thought Forsyth was able to find Baird on the crease. Baird cannot come up with the pass.
Bitch, it's like they're listening to us. They said go low, next time go right inside there.
I tell you, the boys are listening to the stream. Oh, great job there by Forsyth to pick off that transition pass. Has Wheatley down low. Cannot come up with that pass, does Wheatley. Recovered by Cowan. Cowan able to spin and get away from Forsyth. Opening it up for Glazebrook on the far side. Glazebrook gets back to his strong side of the floor here. And The pass intended for Allison's going to go all the way down to keeper McPhee.
That'll be an over and back. Wolves ball. We've seen some life in the last couple minutes. Normando breakaway has started to open things up for the Wolves.
And it just could have been, an uncharacteristic slow start from the Wolves.
Sometimes you need that spark to get it going, right? And that can be it right there.
And to be fair, I guess in game one, it was kind of much the same because Noah Cox was very sharp early on, made some big saves early on. When that game, Muir with a nice little bouncer, looking for that far post. Unfortunately, just able to get that was McPhee.
Nice look inside. I'd like to see a little bit more east to west instead of north to south, though, but they're going in the right direction.
Agreed. Allison with the big outside shot. Rebound recovered by Normando. As he hits the first man off the bench, O'Connell. O'Connell can't get it over half, and that's going to be a 10-second violation here. You cannot make decisions at the center line. That's something we echoed often in game one.
An uncharacteristic pass around the center line from the Wolves. They normally take it deeper than that, causing that turnover there.
Pass intended for the righty. Wolves now with the possession, 18 on the shot clock, 8.5 in the first period. Dulong steps into one from the outside. That's going to go wide and off the roof. Hurricanes get possession here. Looking to add to that 2-goal lead. Allison flips it over to Glazebrook. Glazebrook steps into one, looking for that outside corner. As I believe that went off of Cooper Puma, negating that over and back.
It definitely did. It touched Puma just a little bit, which would negate the over and back.
Oh, as speaking of Pumas, Tyler Puma's about to take one here on Allison. Looks like a slash call.
One of those frustration penalties that can't happen. The Wolves got to stay in this one. You know, you want to be tough on D, but you got to be disciplined as well. We were talking about that in game one and sending that message without going to the box.
Well, exactly. I'm not great at mental math, but we're, 7 minutes into this? And you can't be frustrated 7 minutes into a game. You have to be resilient. There's no way that you should be taking a frustration penalty this early on, because the night's only going to get more frustrating if you play that way, you know?
I think you are good at mental math because you're at 7 minutes and 3 seconds. So
well, there you go. I almost had to take my shoes off. Grayson gets the ball up top to Allison. Allison over to the righty, Holmes. Holmes over the top. That's turned aside by Cox. And in the words of Farrell, more cowbell. O'Connell now brings this up the left side. He's stripped by Holmes. Holmes able to hit that ball to Grayson. Grayson. Oh, big fake. He faked far side, faked short side, went 5-hole. Noah Cox had him read the whole way.
Left that stick right in the middle there. Perfectly done by Noah. That's a huge stop in a 2-0 game.
Big save. You're absolutely right. Whitford now taking this ball around the horn. He's met by the defender, big Hayden McDougall. Whitford fakes an attempt at he faked the shot, then pulls the trigger. That goes wide. And that will be turned over. A flip pass up to Grayson. Dulong meets Grayson. As I believe he will take a charge penalty on that. That shot turned aside by Cox. Ball now up to Holmes with a fresh 30. 6-on-5 here for the Hurricanes. Good D there from Bouchard, able to get the ball on the ground. And Barkhouse will recover that.
Mitch, I just want to note there was 2 rules that have been added to the league this year that just happened in that one play. So 30 seconds now, you can't just, there's a 30-second clock when you're shorthanded. So obviously they're not able to run off the whole 2 minutes. And delayed penalty is not, the team has to have full possession. So you saw there's a shot there, got to reset, go as long as you want. So just 2 things that happened in that one play.
And the resets on the delayed penalty can really throw a crowd because they're not used to that rule. You know, a lot of people shouting, but in reality, the players know. Good movement here from the Hurricanes. Great effort there from the bottom 3 on that power play.
5-on-3. They just went east to west, and it was right there wide open on the side. So.
Exactly. We get a second look. Glazebrook goes up to Grayson. Grayson down to the righty. The righty quickly back to Glazebrook. All he's got to do is put that in the net. Great passing there from the Hurricanes.
We're going to have a goalie water break here, Mitch. I think this is a smart move by Noah Cox. Just giving the team a reset here a little bit. Taking that moment, needs to reset himself, so goes over and grabs the water, right? 3-0, you're still short. You're going to need a big stop here. You just need that moment.
And like, I'm sure I've said this on a million streams, but like there's two things like I always tell goalies, and myself as a goalie would always say, like, a goal scored is a goal forgotten. Just make the next save. That's all you got to do about it. You can't worry about the 2 goals you've let in. You got to worry about that next shot coming at you.
Just to note, both of those penalties were 2 undisciplined penalties on the Wolves that caused the 5-on-3 to make it 3-0. So
Exactly.
They've got to tighten up. They want to play aggressive, but not over the line.
Exactly. And they have the time to do it.
Yep.
Plenty of time left here.
Long way to go in this game.
Good job there by Cowan, to strip Normando. Gets the ball to McDougall. McDougall will hustle this over half. Gets it over in time and flips to Allison.
We're still in a 5-on-4 situation here, Mitch.
A minute 11 left on the penalty to Dulong. Allison up top, drags it down his side. Ooh, a nice shot there. As we look, Allison was thinking shot the whole time, just wanted that pick to open up a nice little lane. As we see the pick on that right side, Puma, and then boom, Grayson able to open up a lane there for Allison. Allison catches Cox, leaning to the right side, able to go almost that left side under his leg.
You know, key to that is he had the first shot to make. He could have taken it on the first pick. He kept dragging it, so Noah had to move and get out of position on that.
Exactly.
So, good decision by Allison on just waiting for the extra pick. The 3 of them on the top know exactly what they're setting up and ran it very well.
Good effort there on the restraining line battle between Cutter Devine and Alex Bouchard.
They're calling Cutter on a push-off.
Oh my, as Bouchard gets the attempt naked on the crease, It's going to be a loose ball push in the corner, able to get that possession back to the Wolves. Whitford over to Wheatley, 25 on the shot clock. Wheatley over the top of the defender. Ooh, big take, and that goes wide. As these shots on cage have to start hitting the net.
They're losing a lot of possessions early on. I mean, the next goal is a big one, so they're going to really need to make sure they get something on in one of these possessions coming up.
Dulong tries to go over Cowan. Good stop there from Noah Cox on the doorstep. Looks like a loose ball push between Cowan and Bouchard. Forsyth now with it, goes to the lefty Normando. Normando able to beat his defender, but not hit or not beat the goaltender McPhee.
They are calling a tip here. Those are the Wolves are going to retain possession on this one.
Good catch on that. Forsyth starts it up, looking over, goes to Brassard, the lefty. Delayed penalty here for the Hurricanes as that shot hits and is recovered by Devine.
This is a big power play coming up here. They need some momentum here. This is they got it with the Normando turnover and the breakaway, and then the power play killed it on them. So they need to get this back.
And in all honesty, if even not in a playoff game, I hate to say this, but in a non-playoff game, 4 unanswered goals, I'm looking for a fight or I'm changing my goal.
Yeah. I'm actually, Noah's been awesome, and I wouldn't pull him, Noah. But I thought there was going to be a change there, just to throw a little bit of a different atmosphere.
Exactly.
Not that it's on him at all.
No, he's been great, but they have yet to be able to limit those opportunities on Cox. Good movement here. Brassard steps into one. That's going to get turned aside by McPhee, and a bounce pass intended for Allison is going to get recovered here by Stevenson. Stevenson with Allison all over his back. Good job by Puma to come over and support his teammate. Stevenson flips it to West. West, 18 seconds on the shot clock, 3:45 left in the quarter. West back up top to Broussard. Broussard steps into one. That is turned aside by McPhee. A great save there as two players get tangled up. I thought there might be a call. Good no call there. West thought about stepping into that. 20 seconds here to work for the Wolves. Back, good pick there as Whitford opens a lane for Broussard. Broussard not able to make them pay on that as McPhee gets it up to Devine. Devine to McDougall in the middle. That hot pass was handled well as he'll roll it to Gage McPhee, Glenn Holmes.
Gage has come a long way on the net on that
I
one.
know. So fast getting his gear off. G with the offhand shovel.
Nice save by Noah there. Quick
I was gonna
reaction
say-
time. He was going down and shoved that arm right back up to make that quick stop there.
That it may look like he didn't intend on doing that, but G definitely intended on doing that. Good effort from Cox as Normando and Wheatley play catch up top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Dulong trying to find Muir on the crease. That's going to end up back in the Hurricanes' possession as McDougall. They're very intent on throwing these like roll passes and everything like that, but they're hooking every time they do it.
Exactly.
And they're ending up 4 feet left of the person intended.
We're back to 5-on-5, Mitch. The Hurricanes are notorious for trying to take those bounce passes, but it's definitely not connecting tonight.
No. And honestly, like, especially on the offensive side of the floor, I hate seeing like a bounce pass. But Barkhouse runs this around the horn, gets it up for Baird. Baird over to Broussard, 15 seconds to work here. Broussard with the big pump fake, able to get some more room, but turned aside by McPhee. Allison brings this ball up for the Hurricanes. Good slash there as Dulong turns him back. Dulong all over Allison, trying to find the rookie. AP was Allison. Looks like Dulong and Allison are both going to go for two.
Couple chops there after the pass went off, and Chris Soucy wasn't in that. Just the both of you can go sit down for a little bit.
Looks like Wolves possession.
So in that situation, whoever had the ball will continue with it. Errant pass in the corner. Wolves had possession, so they'll award it to them at center. No different than if there was a penalty. Just on both sides. So we're going to go to 4-on-4 lacrosse here for 2 minutes, Mitch.
I love it.
1:25 left in the quarter, so finish it off this way.
West over to Forsyth. Lots of room there as the two-man game on each side. Whitford back to West on the right side. He gets a pick from Normando, comes around. That shot is hot and heavy, but wide. As the Hurricanes take it up, Devine. Just over a minute left in the opening quarter, Holmes gets a pick on the right side. Can't come up with it, was Glazebrook. Kennedy. Puma takes it all the way down. An attempt on Cage down the other way. This one turned over to Devine. Devine will wait for help from the bench as Wheatley gives him nothing for free there. 14 seconds on the shot clock and the big outside shot from Holmes. Make no mistake, Glenn Holmes is here for the victory.
I said in game one, the Hurricanes were a little slow at the end of each quarter. Not tonight. We're picking up a big one. 25 seconds left. That hurts, Mitch. That one hurts. 25 seconds outside shot, down 4-0. Got to keep that one out.
No, anything in the last minute is always going to carry that momentum over to the next quarter. O'Connell, Cowan. It's a 50-50 ball. Going to get recovered by Barkhouse. 20 seconds here. $14 now to work.
10 left on the clock.
Need a shot here, does Sackville. Good shot there from Whitford. Rebound, can't recover. As Francis Grayson does, able to kill off the remaining of that quarter. Not the quarter the Sackville Sportswheel Wolves wanted, but certainly the Hurricanes did.
Definitely. Hurricanes in their own barn hoping to come out hard, and they definitely did in this one, getting up 5-0 at the end of the first. The Wolves, they still seem a little nervous on the offensive side. They're not quite as loose. I got to say, one of the things is you're not going to score on Gage without something in front and him not being able to see it, and every shot has been from outside the dotted line, either miss the net or clear view, and when he's in clear view of it, he's not going to miss too many of those.
That's exactly it. You got to be deceptive. You got to change your angles. You got to change something. You can't just keep going back to the well that's not working.
And I noticed from the Hurricane side there, they're taking a lot of bounce shots tonight, which has been, Noah's been going down on them and being able to use that third angle that comes back up in it, which seems to be what they noticed in the last one. And I wonder if the Wolves will look to that because they haven't tried to use the ground. It's been, high to high or low to low, and got to try to change some of that elevation there.
That's exactly it.
But it's only the first. Still a lot of lacrosse to go in this one.
That's the truth.
What do you think the Wolves need to do in this one, Mitch?
Not take penalties. The worst thing is this is lacrosse. Penalties happen, but to take penalties, 100 feet away from your net, 150 feet away from your net, that's just you can't be happy with that, because I'm all for taking a penalty 15 feet away from your net if it's going to stop a goal. But there's no scoring threat 100 feet away, and that's what, I understand. First period, you're feeling out officials, but if it's like, you should already know in the first minute and a half if you get teed up that they're going to call it tight.
And on both of those, well away from the ball, undisciplined penalties.
Trying to make a guy pay for something.
Exactly. And the second one was the one that got me in the fact that you're already down one. You go on a 5-on-3 against this offense, that's just going to open a new door. And you can't have that door open on them. That's a big thing that can't happen in this kind of a series. And the Wolves really need to get back in this one. They want to go back home. The next two are here tonight and tomorrow, and want to make sure that they're able to go back.
And that's you're absolutely right. They want to go back home, play another game in the Den. And if they're going to do anything with that first quarter, I hope they just forget about it.
So, Mitch, if you're Coach Jay and Coach Kyle, would you switch Noah out right now, try to change the momentum, or would you leave him in? That's a tough decision, I know, because he's played so well. So
he has.
But, something's just – you need something to click right now. You need a change.
And that's the thing. And the thing is I know Aiden Doyle hasn't played a lot in the ECJLL, but he's a very talented goalie, very capable goalie. If my players aren't responding for Noah, I would probably put. You got to send a message somehow. None of the big guys that are in my lineup can you afford. You can't lose Jack Dulong. He's a 16-year-old kid, great fighter. Saw him go to work earlier this year, but you can't lose a guy like that for the rest of the game if you want to get out of a 5-goal ditch, right? So, I mean, you either need somebody that's, dare I say, less valuable, or you need somebody to step up. You know what I mean? It's going to be their backs are against the wall. And
100%. And the offense just is, we started to see some low play. The only thing I would comment on it was still north to south. It's really got to be east to west to get Gage moving. I find with Gage, if you get him going east to west, he does lose his net a little bit more than other goalies, and there is the opportunity. They took 2 of them last night where they came east to west and then came across the top, and that short side was open, and they're still shooting from outside too much. They got to get in there. It looks like they're not switching goalies. I kind of agree with you. Even if it was for 5 minutes,
yep,
I would switch it just to see if there's a momentum change.
Exactly.
Not because Noah's done anything wrong. He's played amazing. But can you get the team to respond just a little bit differently and then put them back in?
Exactly. And that's something that I think a lot of people coming over from hockey are not used to seeing. You would never pull a hockey goalie for a 5-minute breather. But that's quite common in lacrosse. You know what I mean?
100%. I know the Rapids this year used it a lot where they were just kind of changing goalies in and out. They have 2 goalies who have very different styles, and it almost throws the offense off because you're trying to shoot a certain way on a goalie, and then a new one comes in and that doesn't work, so they alter it, and then you put them back in, and it's hard to adjust your game that's been going so well that quickly as much as you can.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because that was kind of what the Halifax Fighting Orangutans kind of were in this year in the senior lacrosse, as they had one kind of goaltender in Cole Reshny, who's your prototypical, kind of plays the same style that we see a lot of goalies play now. And then you have Josh Udall, who plays an old school style like a Dallas Eliuk, who's making these acrobatic saves that you have no idea where they're coming from. And it can really throw off an offense if you've only seen one style of goaltending.
Well, and Noah and Aiden are very different styles. Because Noah is a shorter goalie, so more movement, whereas Aiden's much taller, actually closer to a Gage style.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think it would actually have the Hurricanes adjust how they're shooting. So we'll see what happens coming out here in the second.
Puma gets the possession off a face-off violation, goes to Lacroix. Lacroix over to Bouchard. Bouchard on the left side, looking for a righty off the bench. A lefty off the bench, goes down to Lacroix. Lacroix over to Forsyth. Forsyth looks again, drags the ball low. He comes over the top. That shot turned aside by McPhee. And Grayson will jaunt up for the Hurricanes.
That was a good possession by the Wolves, though.
It was. That's how you want to start.
They got in tight. They got a good shot. They should be proud of that and keep working on it.
Yep, exactly. That's the start they wanted for this quarter. Up to Holmes. Holmes is met by Puma. 10 seconds here to work for the Hurricanes.
Nice defense by Puma.
Good job, Wolves.
You see the bench react to that. They have not had any noise from their bench all night.
A pass almost picked off by Holmes, but Puma recovers. Intended for Normando. That gets tipped to Wheatley. Wheatley gets it to Broussard. Broussard all the way around the horn, gets a couple picks, goes back to the righty. Wheatley tries to find Dulong on the crease. Dulong just can't come up with the pass.
So I'll say disappointing again that they weren't able to come up with the pass, but east to west, high to low. They're going in the right direction.
That's the truth. Holmes tries to find Allison on the crease. Allison comes over the top of the defender. Great save there from Cox. And picked up by Normando. Normando gets help from the bench in O'Connell and West. Goes to West. West alone in the middle. That can't come up. That's going to go off the goalie and out. Wolves possession with a fresh 30. West.
Gage with a big save there.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't exactly sure what it hit, whether it was his elbow or a hand. Bouchard gets a pick from Lacroix. Goes back to Muir. Muir turned aside by McPhee. Recovers the rebound. Gets the ball to Lacroix. Lacroix goes up top to West. 22 seconds here to work. Muir with an outside shot. He needs to take that shot about 6 feet closer to the net. Cowan all the way down, able to keep a 3-on-1. Decides to shoot. That's going to go off and a back over, as it was not touched by a Wolf.
Coach McNeil there was definitely arguing somebody touched that.
I thought it did. I wasn't.
Thought it might have too, but obviously they saw it differently.
Exactly.
And that's how it goes. I got to say, Gage is really stepping up right now. This is a moment where the Wolves have put some pressure on. He's got to be big.
He seems more focused than he was in game one.
Very much so.
Devine recovers that from the Wolves, able to get it up to McDougall. Wheatley all over Campbell, able to get that ball on the ground and up to Normando. Normando, number situation out of the bench. Normando goes to Forsyth. Forsyth off the crossbar, but recovered by Normando. Great effort there from the Wolves. Dulong, oh my, cutting through the middle. That's what we've been asking for all night, Smitty.
Again, either low to high or high to low, east to west, right? Every possession they've had now, they've done that, and this one paid off for them.
Exactly that. As we get a second look here, the key to this is, look how many people are watching Normando in the corner. About 4 defensemen were all staring at Normando, had their backs to Dulong. Dulong's able to cut through the middle and makes it count.
You know, very similar to a goal last night where the Hurricanes did not pressure the ball carrier, giving him time to find the open man. Very similar to what Alfie West almost put in where it tipped off the elbow there, right? So they're starting to cut through the middle. They're starting to go high to low. They're getting those inside shots, which will open up the outside again.
Good job by McDougall to recover the face-off loose ball for the Hurricanes.
I will note, I don't think the Hurricanes have lost a draw yet. Extra possessions every time with that.
Well, it's like the Thunderbirds playing with Withers. If you can guarantee possession 85% of the time off a draw, you're going to want to draw anytime you can. As the Puma pass intended for Bouchard handcuffs him.
There's too many men call here against the Hurricanes. Obviously leaving the bench a little early on the defensive side. If it's on the offensive side, change possession, but defense is a penalty. So they're going, the Wolves, who've been pressuring, are now going to the power play. So the Hurricanes are going to have to hold them off here. We'll see how this goes. This is interesting.
How do you eat an elephant, Smitty?
One bite at a time.
And that's how you get out of a 4-goal ditch as well. They're going to have to do this 1 goal at a time. And this is where it will count. Muir up to Wheatley, over to Normando. Back to Wheatley, he steps in. That shot is going to be an over and back. Not exactly what the Wolves wanted from that. Allison will start this in the far corner for the Hurricanes. Good defense there from Wheatley. Now met by Tom as the double, able to put the ball on the ground, but it is picked up by Allison.
13 on the shot clock here.
A minute 20 left in the power. On the McDougall high stick. Good job there from the Wolves to regain possession. And a pass drops intended for Normando. Holmes, big save off the left shoulder of Cox. That was a
defense play. Holmes making that move to try to push in.
Exactly.
Well
like there was a lot
Holmes
of great
as well.
things on that. Yeah.
That was
good
like
job.
4 great things in a row that turned into a no goal, but it would have been a beautiful goal too if he'd gotten it. So well done by all sides there.
That's the type of lacrosse we've been in store for. Normando, the outside shot off the left ankle of McPhee. Able to make it count on the power play. Normando playing catch with the righty. Just has enough room to step in. No pressure from the two top guys in Grayson and McDougall. Makes it count.
As we said, Mitch, penalties can burn you. So there's a bench penalty, too many men. Undisciplined penalty that results in another goal, making it 5-2. So
exactly, and you take away that 5-on-3 that the Wolves had. I mean, boom, this is a 3-2 game.
There's 2 goals there and 1 goal here, so 3 goals have been on undisciplined plays that you just can't let happen if you want to be a champion. Those are the differences right there.
That is the truth, Smitty. Grayson goes over to the righty. G. Holmes gets a pick, able to shoot off the pick. Cox turns it aside. Great save there from number 1. Normando gets it up to O'Connell. O'Connell can't avoid the check, but Whitford able to recover the ball from the Hurricanes. Whitford gets a Broussard pick, shoots low. That's turned aside by McPhee. Made it look easy again. McPhee, a long bomb off the bench. Great pass there from the keeper, but just too excited out of the front door was Glazebrook.
Not sure the Hurricanes bench agree with that one.
No.
It was very close.
It was. Bouchard has this for the Wolves. Looks for Wheatley off the bench. Wheatley over to Whitford. Whitford with a Lacroix prick. Decides to shoot around it. Recovered by Whitford. Tries to get it to Wheatley. Can't do that. That's going to get recovered by Cowan. Cowan. He is very quick in transition, especially. Delayed penalty here for the Sackville Sportswheel Wolves.
Looks like it's coming on number 9.
9, Lacroix.
Behind the play again.
Another penalty 150 feet away from your net. High sticking will be the call. An important kill here.
Watching, so the last 2 possessions, Jordan Whitford has had some great opportunities in tight. but he's just not changing planes. He's going low. His stick is low and shooting low, keeping the plane the same. So Gage is already down on the shot. I think if he raises it up or does a bouncer, you're going to get a different result on that.
Yep.
So I'm hoping, hopefully Coach Jay sees that and tells him about that to change that up a little bit. But the Wolves have definitely found some energy. We were saying change the goalie. I guess that's why we're not coaching right now.
Well, they found the energy. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is like, oh my, good patience there from Owen Cox to beat Noah Cox as he throws the fake to the far post and Noah Cox bites on it. He waits for him to open up. We'll see here. Good skip pass up to Holmes. Holmes gets it down low, and we'll see the hard fake and able to just open Noah Cox up a bit and goes 5-hole from Owen Cox.
So to note on that, the Wolves play a diamond on the short man. So they are protecting the top 3 shooters and leaving the crease guys open. But that bottom slide did not slide quick enough over to take that away and allowed too much time for Cox in the crease to be able to take 2 or 3 times.
Point, Smitty. Grayson again recovers this loose ball off the face-off.
Mitch, that's 4 penalties, 4 goals.
I tell you, there might be something to it, Smitty. Holmes. Oh, a nice little pick inside and a roll to Lynch. That's recovered by the Wolves. Normando with some speed. Could have had a number situation had they got to the bench a little quicker. Over to Brassard. Brassard flips it back for Normando. Crossed wires on that one as Normando intended to change. Brassard over to Bouchard. Bouchard steps into that. That is going to go wide and out. Hurricanes possession. 7 minutes, 27 seconds left in the second quarter of Game 2. Hurricanes up 1-0 as they took Game 1 6-4 in Sackville. Allison met by Tom. Now switches, does Stevenson, and that is going to get recovered by Barkhouse. Barkhouse, and this is that gets turned over at the half. And this is one thing, if you just rewind this when it's done, watch Barkhouse. Barkhouse prepared to drop the shoulder. He should have been more worried about protecting that ball.
In this game, Mitch, the difference is transition. The Hurricanes have not had a problem getting it over center, and the Wolves are struggling. Just some passes missed. Right there, dropping the ball, trying to do too much. And just get it over. Their
transition looked a lot better at home where they're comfortable, and they have that offset bench kind of faces each other.
And the Hurricanes are back in their home barn on the same bench. They know exactly where it's coming from.
Gets it over to Allison. Allison steps in. That's going to go off a defender and out.
Stay with the Hurricanes.
As Bouchard, I believe, ate that one.
Won't be the first one tonight.
No. Good D here from Puma and Bouchard. Campbell.
Huge save by Noah.
Yeah.
Loose ball.
Campbell kind of had alone there as Puma and Bouchard doubled Holmes. Oh my, Puma! As he's able to fight off Allison. We're going to get a second look here.
Wow, what a move by Puma there. Wow.
Yeah. As I love this, look at Bouchard. He's about 10 feet back waiting for a rebound. Doesn't need it as Puma makes no mistake.
So interesting on that. Loose ball bounces to the Hurricanes' Dylan Campbell, who doesn't put it in. Another loose ball bounces the other way to Puma, who's able to have the defender go for the stick. Bit of a swim move over the top to the opening and finish it off. So, going both ways. You got to make sure you finish it.
Exactly. Loose ball recovered by Cooper Puma. He'll get it to Normando.
So with 6 minutes left in the half here, what was a 5-goal lead is now down to 3. As you said, one at a time.
Yep, one at a time. The Bayard shot through traffic is recovered by the keeper. Devine goes up to McDougall. Looks like it's going to be a too many men. As McDougall, if he's not lucky or not careful, he will get a delay a game penalty as he kind of tossed that into the corner. Wheatley.
They've been tight on that all year. So.
They have all year. Gets it over to the lefty, Broussard. Broussard goes under his defender and beats McPhee. And that's the dirty area of the floor you got to get to.
Wolves are feeling it now. You got a replay here coming, Mitch.
Exactly. And look, we see Broussard. Broussard all night has been coming over the top and wanting that outside shot. He's able to drag his defender, a little bit of a slower defender, up enough. He's the last man. When you're the last man, the last low guy, you cannot get beat low because you got no help low. All your help is high. And that's just what happened there. Broussard able to take advantage of that.
Looking at that replay, I didn't see a single hole that he put that through.
No.
But he definitely found it. That's a goal scorer right there.
That's it. A number situation here. Grayson keeps. As McDougall attempts the Cam Neely wrist shot on the crease. Nothing doing there as he was in the crease. Dulong gets the ball from Bouchard. 5 minutes to work here. Goes back to Wheatley. Then cuts. Wheatley tries to find Whitford. That ball ends up in the stick of West. West takes one. That's just wide, but recovered. Wolves, tries to get the ball down to Whitford. Does Wheatley. As that was just a little too hot to handle. Cowan.
Right look, though. Right look. That, instead of just firing an outside shot, they went to the crease, and if he had caught it, it was there. So.
Exactly. Good hack there from Tom. Dislodges the ball. Good effort there from the defender. Able to get the ball safely to Normando. 15 seconds on the clock. Normando looking like he steps in. He does. Rebound not corralled. Finally able to come up with it is Muir. 25 seconds here to work. Gets a pick. Beats Cowan. And a big save from the right shoulder of Gage McPhee.
Huge save right in the middle there. That would have made it 6-5. That's a big stop.
Yep. Muir back at it. Great job there by McPhee.
Another one. Wow.
Rebound control on point. And a good pass from McPhee intended for Holmes. Cannot handle that.
Holmes has got to get that. They've been on the D a long time. He's got to make sure he comes with that. Was a beautiful pass.
Exactly.
By Gage.
There's no, and I think he was just thinking it was going to lead him where it trailed him a little bit. Kind of stuck in that. Baird pass to O'Connell is disrupted. O'Connell does pick up the rebound, able to get a shot on Cage. That's turned aside. Rebound secured and pass up to Devine. And Devine, just kind of 4 or 5 feet closer than Holmes was on that, able to, because McPhee's passed into the same spot every time. He loves that just before half.
Off bench just before half. You got exactly right. He's always looking in the same area, and the Hurricanes just go there. Exactly.
Dulong loses a glove on this. Able to shovel pass down to Tom. And he'll change. Tom gets it to Wheatley. Has Muir on the right side as well as Baird, Normando, and Broussard on the left side. Normando able to get into the middle of the floor and make them pay. We got a 1-goal ball game.
Just like that, east to west, high to low, Mitch. We've been talking about it all night, and the Wolves finally go to it.
As we see, Normando gets the pass from Muir, catches his defender a little flat-footed, able to split them. And just gets McPhee going to that far post, able to come back, put it between them. And all just like that, one bite at a time leads into one goal lead for the Hurricanes. That is playoff lacrosse.
It's a big moment for the Hurricanes here. They got 2 minutes. They want to make sure they get some possessions here.
Puma takes it right to the net. Bouchard almost gets that rebound. As the tide has certainly changed here, Sackville with much more momentum. Oh my, Bouchard all alone off the rebound. And he almost did the same thing just a few seconds ago.
He didn't get it on the first one. He got a second chance to do it again. Right off Gage in the middle of his chest and right out to the side, wide open.
And that's why rebound support is so crucial. Puma in that middle of the floor takes a big shot. Rebound right to Bouchard, able to tap it home. 6-6, 2 minutes, 19 seconds left in the half. And Cowan set to do battle with Dulong again in the draw dot. That's going to be a violation here. Looks like 2 simultaneous violations going to result in a redraw. I am not mad at that.
Both refs saw one guy go over the line first on opposite sides, so redraw it is.
Exactly that. Cowan, Dulong do battle again.
2:16 to go in this half.
Cowan with a good pull. Loose ball battle finally recovered by Devine. And a timeout from the Hurricanes. 2 minutes left here. Good opportunity for the Hurricanes to settle their bench down and cauterize the run that the Wolves have gone on.
I think this is a great call by the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
You just, they've tied it up. You get a possession. Let's go down there and do, a whole 30 seconds, get a good shot off, get a good opportunity. I mean, Mitch, what I've seen change here. I mean, East and West has been happening from the Wolves, but in the first half and even the first half of the period or the quarter, the Wolves weren't getting any second chance opportunities, and they've been getting rebounds. They've been getting their shots have been hitting the net. They finally found that, and the Hurricanes look a little tired. They've been playing defense for a long time, and so that that's challenging, especially in this heat. So you add that to it. I think that adds to some of the challenge that's going on for them right now. But
you're absolutely right, and I know Coach Jay liked it when I likened it to fishing. I said, those big huge those big huge cranks from the point that absolutely go 110 kilometers an hour but don't go anywhere near the cage is a lot like expecting to catch fish without a hook in the water. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. But we're seeing Sackville has started to get those options on net, and those are coming to fruition. That not the first cut's not working, but the second one is, and that rebound as well. Hurricanes start this up off of the timeout. Puma all over Holmes, both of them. So that is recovered by Bouchard. Good pressure there from the Wolves to negate the Hurricanes timeout.
It was a nice flip pass. He just didn't see it coming. It went a little behind him.
And that's my qualm with flip passes. Is like you can't really. Oh, Forsyth just misses.
You're not expecting it.
No,
It
exactly.
comes from a different angle. It's no different than going sidearm or bounce pass. It just comes from a different angle. You're not expecting.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the ball's in your field of view.
Yeah.
Grayson to Allison off the bench. A strong lefty setup here. Campbell over to Glazebrook. Excuse me.
Nice
Big
stop by
save
Noah there.
there. Kennedy, not Glazebrook, excuse me. Puma gets the ball to Wheatley. Wheatley wisely pulls it out and will wait for the help from the bench.
A little surprised they're not calling a timeout here, Mitch.
Agreed. Might be looking for a reset before they call it. Oh my, as that beats McPhee but can't trickle in. And it's going to be a back in. Now I might call my timeout.
You got to call it now. It's not carried over. You may as well use it. That one hit the post, Mitch.
Oh man, and it stayed there. Usually it'll hit a post and go somewheres, but it just kind of bounced. Broussard over the top here, steps into one. That hits a post. And I thought that was going to be another back in, but must have hit a Wolf player. As Devine takes this up, last shot clock in the period as we're ticking down to 25 seconds here. Grayson goes back up to Allison. Allison, the heavy shot from outside goes wide. Eight seconds here, and the Wolves will take their timeout.
As you see, we're sitting in the Wolf section here and up in the stands talking about that timeout. It's a good call of a timeout right now, but personally, I would have called it on the last possession. I thought I agree. On the back end, they had the reset. They could have really set it up. There only would have been about one shot to do, but they're still going to get another shot at it, so why not?
They just have to go immediately now. Like, you call that with 22, 25 seconds. you're only going to wait until 12 till you start moving anyways. But, this kind of this has to be kind of that puke bucket play where these guys can do it in their sleep. That's the 8 seconds that you got time for kind of thing.
In basketball, this is the alley-oop. We're just throwing up in the net and hope someone tips it. That's why I like the previous call. You would have had a whole time to set it up. This is like somebody's going to have the ball. There'll be a pick and roll on the other side, and whoever's open, just throw them the ball and hope you tap it in. I'm feeling they're going to try to go crease to crease because down low is where they've been having it. But we'll see what they dialed up.
I probably wouldn't pull in this situation either, to be honest. A tie game. 8 seconds. It's just karma kind of. Bouchard gets a pick from Dulong, goes over, flips it to him. Dulong, he's able to make it count. The Wolves are going to head into the third quarter with a lead.
Wow, I guess that's why they should have called the timeout now.
Exactly. Coach J knows his personnel as well as Coach Peace.
Nice flip there by Bouchard down low. Is that Dulong taking the shot there?
Able to get it to Dulong.
They found something on Gage in this quarter. They've just been able to get it behind him quite a few times. So I thought they were going to run out of time on that one.
I did too. I kept waiting for it to happen. The buzz, you know what I mean? As Cowan and O'Connell, and just like that, the 5-goal spread the Canes went into this quarter with is gone.
So this is going to be interesting. So, Mitch, if you were behind Coach McNeil, what would you say to the team in the room? Obviously, you can see them walking off, the heads down a little bit, just giving up a 5-goal lead when you thought you were in control. What do you say to perk them back up here?
The one thing is I was chirping a lot last game in the fact that the Hurricanes looked cocky. But it was working. That confidence was working for them. So maybe they almost need to go back to that selfish frame of mind and I shouldn't say selfish because it's not selfish if it's a team kind of identity, you know what I mean? But maybe they need to find that swagger that they had in game one, that kind of cockiness that they walked into the rink with. Because I'd be telling my guys that this is our barn. Nobody comes in here and runs like that on us in our barn.
Well, exactly, and I'm, they definitely have lost the swagger a little bit in this last 5 minutes. They just got to pick it back up again and find what's down there. I mean, you want to be champions. This is what you got to go through, right? You got to go through the highs and lows. We talked about a lacrosse game is 60 minutes. Being up 5-0 in the first quarter doesn't mean anything, and they just came back and proved it.
Exactly, and the wise words of William A. Ward, adversity caused some men to break, others to break records. So we'll see what kind of adversity the Wolves and Hurricanes have put themselves through in this third quarter.
So, Mitch, just looking at the Hurricanes here in kind of the second half there is noticing that rushing the ball has started to become too much for them. I thought they should have slowed it down a little bit earlier as the Wolves started to come back and kind of move on that. They continued to press the ball, which has been their game all season long, which has been great. But I think it's a time that they need to start maybe slowing it down, especially near the end, because they looked a little tired. You could see them bending over on their knees, having to regroup some air in there. They
also kind of stopped going through Glenn Holmes. Glenn Holmes was running that offense from in the first quarter, and they kind of were distributing the ball. Maybe they thought, we'll get everybody a touch here. We're up a couple goals, kind of thing. Because like you mentioned early on, the Hurricanes did shorten that bench early in game one, and it's something that I think their players are feeling the effects of here now.
I think they shortened it a little bit tonight too there with the run, and I think that's why they got a little bit more tired with sending the same guys out, and they do a lot of both ways, and so because of that, I think some of them are this heat today is extremely high, and I think that's hurting them. I was talking to Coach McNeil before the game, and he was saying that we have lots of water and Gatorade and everything else they need to drink to make sure that they make it through this one. So I'm sure they're filling up with the electrolytes right now to make sure they can come back into this. But, they've been in this. I mean, if you look at last game, they were down 4-2. They came back and responded and tied it up and then ended up getting the winner. So they've been here before. This isn't a spot they haven't been in. They just got to go, dig deep down. I just thought they let the foot off the pedal there a little bit and just started to relax.
And that's like you said, they came back from that game, came back in game one, but never once in game one did I feel that they looked deflated. You know what I mean? Like they looked, even down two, they looked like they were in every game, in every play, So they did look a little dejected there when the Wolves took control of that game, or that quarter, I should say.
Well, I'm not going to lie, having coached many times, when you're up 5-0, you come out down 7-6. It's a hard feeling to respond from, right?
For sure.
You know something went wrong, and you just have to figure out what it is to find it. But they also didn't get as many shots on Noah in the second quarter. I thought they didn't get as many chances as they were getting, especially in the first. So I think maybe I know last time they had the 10-minute break, they really came out in the start of the third in Sackville and came out hard. So I'm expecting the same thing again from this one in that kind of interesting. I was just thinking of an interesting point you mentioned, Mitch, about Gage and where he's passing the ball. It's always to the same side, same spot. I'm surprised that the Wolves have not sent someone there.
I am too.
Just to alter it, because he literally is looking in the same spot. It's wide open. It's perfect pass. Doing it exactly right. But if you start putting someone there, they got to look somewhere else, and they're almost getting a free clear because of it.
Exactly that. Like if you know where they're going, just put somebody there.
And when you do, that would be what I would do. But maybe the Wolves will see that in this one. But it's going to be interesting. So now you had mentioned Dylan Campbell talking about from Cape Breton. So just to mention a little bit about Cape Breton lacrosse. So this is Cape Breton actually took a year off last year and back at it again this year with some teams, and it's great to see them back. So they play in the Scotia Minor Lacrosse League, which is actually including Cape Breton, Pictou, Truro, and the Valley. So all the teams outside Metro. And Dylan was a big part of their team at the U18 level in previous years, and getting the opportunity to be drafted in the fifth round and making a huge impact here.
Exactly that. And our game has been confined to HRM for a long time. You know what I mean? And with I feel so great that not only are we getting lacrosse in Cape Breton, but we're getting kids from Cape Breton that have the caliber to play in this league. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing.
Well, I think you're right. Both you and me have taken provincial teams to nationals, and we always talk about competing with the Ontarios, the BCs, the Albertas. Their whole province plays. If only Metros play, and we're still losing a bunch of athletes that may not be lacrosse players now, but maybe lacrosse players in the future. And without that, how do you compete with those provinces that have everyone participate?
In every well-funded sport, we compete with everybody. You know what I mean? And it's just exactly that. We have incredible athletes on the East Coast. They just might not be lacrosse players yet. You know what I mean? So the more exposure our game gets, having the Thunderbirds in town obviously is a huge. We got NAG coming to town here in 2023. We've got huge, opportunities. Lacrosse, the field nationals are just in New Brunswick this year. A lot of lacrosse around.
Both you and me have coached in the field nationals together, actually. Out in Alberta, which was awesome, and it's great to see Nova Scotia sending two teams back to New Brunswick, and next year it's in PEI for the first time.
I love that.
So exciting to see it twice in the Atlantic provinces, and an opportunity for Nova Scotia to start to grow that again. And quite a few players that are in the Junior A League are actually on that team. I know Seamus Locke, Ben Barrero, Jack Dulong is another one that's on
Keegan Horn as well.
On those U18 teams, and also some former Wolves who we were talking to after game one are the coaches. So who are the coaches of the teams, Mitch?
Ian Connors, Mitch Broussard, Zach Kerrigan, and Mark Seward. All three guys that went to Bishops, and Kerrigan that went to Mars Hill. And the funny thing is those kids were on that U15 team that we took to Alberta, and it makes me like they came out to talk to us after the game in Sackville, game one in Sackville, and it was like so great to see those kids. And kids are grown men now, but just to see that not only are they involved, those kids that they're coaching are getting some great knowledge. You know what I mean?
It's one of the greatest feelings I have in having done a lot of these different areas of lacrosse is seeing a player come back after you've worked with them. They've gone on to better things. They all have gone on to university and higher level lacrosse. And now coming back to give back to the game. That's how we get better. You're seeing the same thing here. I mean, Coach McNeil is from a Bishop product as well, right?
100%.
So, all these coaches have played the game and starting to give back. We're not seeing parents on the bench anymore. We're seeing players come back and give back to the game, which is how the game is starting to elevate, in my mind, in Nova Scotia. Not that the parents aren't great. We love having them on the bench, but having that knowledge to be able to go a little farther is always important.
Exactly. And, I do think that our fan bases are getting more knowledgeable as well with having the Thunderbirds in town. They're realizing that they may not know every nuance of the game, so it's nice to see that they're believing that the officials are making the right call, so to speak.
The only concerning thing with the Thunderbirds is they allow crease dives, which we don't. So every start of the season, we see a bunch of kids doing crease dives that we got to start calling a little early on. So
and they're like, why does this hurt so much? Maybe because you're diving on cement, bro.
There's turf in the NLL.
Yeah.
It's a little different than what we play on. So, I've been lucky enough this year to be able to coach the commissioner of a couple leagues and be able to ref in all of them. So it's great to see all angles of the game and the kids having so much experience from that. It's interesting. So, I don't know if a couple people have noticed, but the officials have been leaving the floor at the start of each period. They're actually closing the doors from the outside, which some people would say, like, why would you do that? Because if you actually let the hot air come in, it actually makes the floor sweat more. So you actually want to close the doors and keep the coolness inside as much as possible to keep the floor good. So far, I would say it's been pretty solid on the floor. I've not seen anyone have a slip or anything like that, which is pretty impressive with the weather outside tonight.
Yeah, she's a warm one.
Well, Mitch, we got 30 minutes left in this one. This is going to be an exciting second half. That's 2 games in a row that this has been an intense series that we thought it would be.
I love it. Dulong, Cowan, again, Cowan with the win. But Grayson cannot recover that ball for the Hurricanes. Cooper Puma does. Has Dulong cutting in the back door. Opts to keep the safe choice. Nothing wrong with that. He finally does move it to Brassard. Gets it over to O'Connell. O'Connell looking to go back to Dulong. 8 seconds left here to work. Reset. That's going to get recovered by McDougall. McDougall looks to Grayson as that just gets over half in time. Huge shout out to Todd Bouchard for the watermelon freezy, really coming through here.
I was just going to say we might be a little delayed in replying because the heat is getting to us too, and we needed a freezy.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd hate to be wearing that chest protector that Noah Cox is wearing right now.
I would agree with you on that. How both these goalies have taken one water break in this whole game, and I can't see how they're doing that.
And that is dislodged from Barkhouse.
Nice pressure by the Hurricanes there.
Allison,
you notice they've slowed it down a bit too, as we talked about at the half there.
And looks like they'll try to run this through Glenn Holmes. Glenn Holmes gets a lane. Finally able to take it to the net, but can't come up or can't get it on cage. Bouchard starts this.
Just to say, Mitch, the two things we mentioned at half, run it through Holmes and slow it down. Must have been what was said in the room because they did both of them on the opening draw there.
Maybe we're onto something. West goes back to Muir. Muir bobbles that pass, but West comes up with it. And that low to high shot hits 100% of the post.
That's the third post they've had, and from the last quarter they had 2 at the end and 1 right there. So
that's a beautiful shot, though. If he can keep taking that, that's going in. West goes up to Wheatley. Wheatley bobbles, but keeps possession. Normando, his shot is gobbled up by McPhee, and a beautiful pass to Grayson. Big pick there from Campbell. He runs through the crease for that ball.
Just for younger players there, Mitch, you see 2 different shots there. So Alfie West came across the top, made sure he crossed a little bit of center so that McPhee had to move, and then shot low and went high. So changing the plane. And then Normando came across but stayed even. He didn't make Gage move enough, and he stayed middle to middle, and there's a huge difference. So young kids, when you're looking at it, changing the plane is the biggest part of what you're trying to do in a shot.
For sure.
I can tell you, if you want to beat Mitch, you better change plane.
That's the truth. It's just so hard. It's so hard in the middle of exploding into a save to change all your body's momentum.
Exactly.
And that's just what you see a goalie freeze. That's kind of what happens. Forsyth with the big outside shot, able to keep it on half. No, as he tried to swipe, but just misses.
Great idea there, though. It's going to go back over. All you got to do is take a chance to try to hit it down, but unfortunately unable to do so.
Allison steps into one, and that goes wide as I enjoy a mouthful of freezing.
I thought that was a little quick out of the Hurricanes there. Could have taken a little bit more time, but got Norman Doe bringing the ball up now.
Will he make the Hurricanes pay? Broussard inside, outside. That is going to hit McPhee in the throat guard. And he'll get the ball up to Devine. Devine met by West. Good pressure there from West, eating up time in this shot clock. Good pressure there from Puma as well. As 10 seconds, 2/3 of this shot clock is clicked by. Oh my, but it doesn't matter. As that ball gets to Glazebrook.
Huge shot by Glazebrook right there. That situation was an interesting one, is that Alfie West was pressuring the defender. As West went off, he didn't hustle off as fast, allowing the Wolf guy to come out a little slower, and Glazebrook came right off the bench super hard, leaving him wide open in front. Beautiful hustle by Glazebrook there, the Hurricanes. That's what they're known for, hustling. That's exactly what they're known for. They play 60 minutes and don't quit.
Well, a great effort there for the Hurricanes to draw even. 11 minutes, 22 seconds in the third quarter. Cowan wins the draw, but can't come up with the loose ball, as Puma does. Puma taking the ball down his far side, has a lane, opts to shoot. Cowan gets the ball up to Grayson. Grayson beats Wheatley. Has a 2-on-2 situation here, met by Bouchard. Grayson goes up to Allison. Sets a pick for him, gets the ball down to Glazebrook, the most recent goal scorer. Over to Holmes. Holmes steps into one. That squeaks through the armpit of Cox.
Cox is going to want that one back.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, there's not... I think that might be the first goal tonight that he's going to want that one back.
He just didn't quite read it right off the stick of Holmes and beat him in the arm pad, as you talked about there. So back out to the top. As I said, they're getting Holmes back involved in what they need to do. Just made the reach, but didn't quite make the reach far enough. So.
And that's, it kind of shows how important squareness of gear is, because if your gear is square, it's going to hit that flat part and hopefully not kind of turn your gear. And as you can see, the left elbow of Cox is kind of turned a little bit towards his post. Can kind of hit that and ride into the net. That's going to be a moving pick there on Puma. And
nice
Normando
pickup by
quickly goes the other way, off the goaltender. As McPhee makes the save, Normando able to force another turnover. Great effort.
Normando has been unreal tonight. He's been the leader on the Wolves on the floor and just been doing a great job. Turnovers, offensive chances, doing great.
Whitford steps into one. That 17 seconds left on the shot clock. As Grayson now, number situation here for the Canes. Grayson keeps and scores.
Wow, the Hurricanes have come out firing here. They found some life after that first one and just keep putting the pressure on. Well done. That transition game again, Mitch, they really got that down there.
And yet, as we see the rebound here, Grayson kind of gets that extra room for Bouchard. Bouchard splits the middle, and he sees Bouchard turn his back to get towards the middle and takes that lane.
I gotta say, uncharacteristic of Bouchard, made the turn kind of putting his back to the ball instead of kind of splitting open.
I think that maybe he thought that he had more time.
I would agree. I thought he did, and then that caused Grayson to be right in already, and that threw him off.
Cowan over to Grayson. Grayson, that stopped as Noah Cox able to close the 5-hole and recover the rebound.
You talk about having to let them go, so just had 2 shots that went in on there. He's let that go and made a huge save right there on that one.
That's exactly it. Normando gets a pick from Dulong. A short handcuff of a shot goes wide.
So yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought Burchard had, because usually he would have a stick in there on that shot, and there was nothing there. I think the turn backwards through, he thought he had more time.
Well, and Grayson, as soon as he turned his back, Grayson kind of turned on those jets a little bit.
He saw it right away and went right for it. Great play by him.
As we get Brett Himmelman walking into the rink. Brett Himmelman, a future Olympian. Holmes cuts to the middle over Puma. He goes right to the cage, and he ends up taking the knees out of Noah Cox.
This could be interesting here. I don't think he was doing that. I think he got hit on the back
for
a little
sure.
bit there.
I don't think I know. Glenn Holmes isn't usually the type of guy that wants to jump at a goalie's knees. That's for sure.
And gave a tap to Noah there.
Exactly.
Sorry about that, man. I wasn't trying to take anything out. So, big respect between 2 fifth-year players that just playing super hard here, trying to do what they're trying to do. So, I think they're going to give Noah a few extra seconds here to make sure he's all right and get himself focused again. Good job of the referees not pushing that. Let's just make sure everything. But again, both sides not greasing anything up there. Let's focus on playing. It was a play that happened. Nobody got hurt. Let's move forward and get back to playing the game.
You could throw a lot of teams in there, and that would have ended up in a line brawl. And it shouldn't have. Your goalie's not hurt.
No, the Wolf guy got him on the back, which caused him to go forward.
Exactly.
He's going at full tilt. He can't stop himself.
You're in the middle with a swim move. He gets put on the ground, keeps the ball.
Got a penalty coming here.
Oh, and a delayed penalty to the Hurricanes. Could potentially be 2 if the crowd is correct.
It is not, because they would have blown it down.
You're absolutely thanks. That's why you're here, Smitty.
Well, the fans that are the referees up here.
Normando just misses the short side post. The over and back will start this power play. An important
Every referee
one
in
here.
the stands thought that was 2. But no, in a game when there's 2 calls, it would be immediately blown down, and they wouldn't be allowed to continue, because once there's a second one, referees stop it, so there's nothing escalated from that. But because there was only 1, which was checking the player while he was on the ground, was what was called there. So obviously once a player's on his ground, on knees or lower, you can't touch him. You can slash a stick, but no hits from there.
Good effort by Muir to maintain possession and force him to take that penalty, as Dulong gets the ball, intended for Brassard. That's going to go all the way back. Normando just over and back as he's not able to keep his momentum on that side of half. And a number situation here for Holmes. Holmes rings one off the post. And that's going to hit Normando and go over. No back over here as that hit post and player.
I'm not sure what Normando was thinking on the back over there. It looks like he had it, and then I think he thought it was where the ball was. But if your foot goes over, then it's back over. So minor mistake there, but didn't turn into anything this time.
Allison backing in his defender. Ends up all the way. Leaves the stick hanging for Tom as he's able to hack that one and get the ball to Wheaton.
Nice defensive play there.
Exactly what you need there. A minute left in the power for the Wolves. Brassard fakes the flip to West. Will keep. Lacroix finally gets out, completing the power play. Brassard steps into one, makes no mistake on that one. We're going to get a second look at that.
1 goal game here now, Mitch.
On the power play, at least our 5th power play goal of the night, as the extra man advantage has been crucial for both teams.
I think we're almost perfect on the power play tonight. I don't know if anybody's killed one off tonight.
Think so.
It's been you go in the box, you're going to pay. That's both these offenses are rolling in that way. So
that's exactly the truth. Dulong, Cowan again. Cowan with a clean win, can't come up with a loose ball. Cooper Puma does and gets a pick from O'Connell to get a little bit of space. O'Connell gets it over to Bouchard. Bouchard, 16 seconds to work, goes to the cage, That's turned aside by McPhee, as I thought it was. No reset. Must have missed. Whitford behind the back to Dulong. Dulong, he just misses. Need a shot here as O'Connell can't come up with the rebound. The Hurricanes do. And we are going the other way.
9-8 with 6 minutes to go here, Mitch, in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, plenty of lacrosse left here. Grayson over to Holmes. Holmes goes to work, cuts to the middle as that shot is turned aside by the left knee of Noah Cox. Grayson recovers. Looks like a moving pick. Going to give the ball back to the Wolves as Barkhouse puts one over Bouchard. He's able to corral it and get the ball to Wheatley. Lacroix. Here's something. I just watched Lacroix run into traffic, run into a cross check 3 times. When you're initiating contact, have your stick up. Let that shaft, let him cross check your shaft, not your shoulder. Good movement here. A behind the back attempt at Cage is turned aside by Gage McPhee.
Big stop there by Gage. Positioning done perfectly. Had both sides covered, front and back side.
Lacroix gets the loose ball in the corner.
As you see, the Wolves fans wanted a high stick. It was not.
I did not see one.
I did not see one either.
I did see a loose ball push there. Oh, I thought Allison was going to get up and do something stupid. Or that's not Allison, excuse me. Will Armstrong. Oh,
wow.
my.
Actually, Allison picked the ball up on a quick restart, put it over to Grayson, who buried it far side on a bounce shot again. Just right at the knee area, so we got a replay coming here, Mitch.
As we see it right now, this is a dead ball. Grayson sneaking down as Allison starts it up. And that's just knowing what a goalie's going to do. Because Noah Cox has routinely, his power move is to push to that right side. And he's doing that even when the shot's coming on the left side.
It happened last night when I thought they started to fake on him.
Yeah.
So I think they might have seen something like that. But big props to Allison there, who picked up that ball and started quickly before the Wolves were getting set on defense. That's why you hustle to the ball when they blow it down and take it, right? And Grayson, you could see him in the middle hustle down to the side too and took that shot.
Exactly. As soon as he saw what Allison was doing, he starts moving as well. Grayson over to Holmes. Holmes gets a pick there from the rookie. Goes back to, oh my. Goes back to Francis Grayson, and Grayson makes no mistake on that one.
Holmes to Grayson, east to west, bounce shot. Exactly how you do it, right around the knee. You're calling for a water break here. Noah doing a smart move here and taking some time, but that was a beautiful pass, and I think that's Grayson's third and the same shot. Just he knows where that hole's going to be and firing it there.
As we get a look at that replay, the Hurricanes now have a 3-goal lead after coming into this quarter with a 1-goal deficit. And just like that, the game of runs takes another run.
Just about to say, Mitch, this is a game of runs. And so it's been the first and the third for the Hurricanes. The question will be, can they respond coming back from this?
And this brings me back to my point in the first quarter when they were taking those frustrated penalties. Is that was just the Hurricanes on their run.
Right.
If you don't take those penalties, you don't give them those power play opportunities. You know, exactly. You just got to kind of bite the bullet and ride the run out.
You know, I got to say, the goals by the Hurricanes are typical Hurricanes goals. When you're on the floor, you don't stop running. That's what Coach McNeil's rule is. And like you see some turnovers where they're getting the ball and just going. That's what they do. If you're on the floor, you are not walking. And he's taking full advantage.
That goes for so many things. If you're getting beat up by a defender, move your feet.
Exactly.
If you're not getting the offensive opportunities that you want, move your feet. It's just that simple. Allison with the outside shot. That's going to get recovered by Wheatley as he transitions quickly. He'll go right to the cage.
It's funny you say about the move in the feet. I thought in game one, on offense, the Hurricanes didn't move their feet, and that's why it was a very low-scoring game. And tonight, in the first and third, they've really done it. In the second, they stopped moving them again.
Very good.
But if they can keep it up, they could walk away with a 2-0 series lead here. Big Breton product, Dylan Campbell there in the corner.
Goes up to Grayson. Grayson, again, the same shot this Noah Cox able to get the left arm on that one. As Tom is caught by Grayson. Can't come up with the rebound, or can't come up with the loose ball. Forsyth forces it back over, but not back over, if that makes any grammatical sense.
He saved the back over
Yes.
and put it deep, I guess is the way to say it.
That's exactly it. Allison now gets the ball up to Holmes safely as Holmes waits for his last righty to get out. Fakes the, oh my. As we look at Holmes, he almost fakes like he's going to use that pick and sees the defense. We're going to get a look here. Look at this here.
Just setting up Holmes has got it.
Holmes has the ball up top. He comes down like he's going to set this pick. His defender already plays this like he's going to play the switch. And he's able to get that inside lane. Makes no mistake, does the wily vet G. Holmes.
And Mitch, that's all about two players running on the floor. The defender has to make a decision. Fortunately made the wrong one from the Wolves side, but because he's running so quick, you can't adjust when you're off, right? So he played the switch, and then that wasn't there, so he gives him the opportunity.
One more unanswered goal before this period from the Hurricanes. I think you'll see Aiden Doyle. Good save there from Noah.
I wouldn't be surprised at that.
Even if it's just for a breather or not, but
Kind of surprised he didn't do it there.
I agree.
2 minutes left.
I agree. Wheatley shooting around his defender. Cannot beat McPhee.
Gage did not know where, he made a nice save, but he wasn't sure where it went after, so he moved himself out. Great job by the team making sure it didn't go behind him there.
Glazebrook fakes it down low. Thank you. Comes over the top, gets it to the righty. Holmes, another big outside shot.
Second chance opportunity for
Recovered by
Glazebrook. He was going in.
Oh, he just missed that
He
top
saw that
corner.
top corner. It was there, wasn't it, Mitch?
Just a little bit of light. He just misses. That's going to be a back over here. Wolves possession. 1:55 left in the third. Down by 4. Would love to chip into that lead before the end of the quarter. West, oh my, another beautiful shot by West, doing the same thing as he's going. This time he doesn't go low to high, he goes low to midway up that post, and it's always coming. So for West is dragging the ball across the top, and from the goalie standpoint, you kind of step too far, right? Because you want to give him that far side so you can explode into it. Whereas McPhee kind of takes the far side, allows West to get that short side shot.
And you watch on that, when we were watching that replay there for young players today, he made the goalie take 3 steps, right? It's hard to continue to hold your post when you have to come farther out to the top and away from it to be able to check it, leaving that side just a little bit open as you walk forward. So Alfie West doing the same thing he did earlier where he hit the crossbar and you said he keeps doing it, it's going to go in, and this time it did.
That's exactly right. That's a beautiful shot. Like, I mean, the first one didn't stay out because Gage stopped it. It stayed out because it rang that post. Dulong looking for the big hit, just avoided by Lang. Grayson gets a pick from Campbell. 18 seconds to work on the shot clock as they try to go to the righty. That is bobbled by Lynch, but recovered by Grayson. Grayson going back to Kennedy. Kennedy with the outside shot. That's going to get recovered by O'Connell. O'Connell. I thought he was going to flip it back over half there for a second. I was worried. Gets it to Forsyth. Forsyth over to Lacroix. Lacroix can't handle that. And loses the loose ball battle to Devine. As Forsyth tries to pressure, trying to get him over. Able to get that ball back was Forsyth. Great effort there.
Time to slow it up. Get your O out
exactly.
there. Don't rush it.
You work so hard to get that back. 25 seconds left late in this.
I still would have waited for that whole shot clock.
For
now
sure.
they're going to get a chance here. You didn't have your O out there. Now your D's got to come back out again after just doing some work. It would have been a good time to get that last shot.
Agreed. Cowan with the pick, Kennedy with the pick, and that's going to wind up right into the stick of Glazebrook as the rebound spits out.
It's a game of small pieces there, right? Rushing it on O from a defender. So you can see right here, Holmes having the ball at the top, winding up for the outside shot. Good recognition. There's still time to get a rebound. Blazebrook right in front. Noah's got no chance of that. Right? He's not able. No box out from the Wolves going down low and give them that opportunity.
Great effort from the goal scorer, Zach Blazebrook.
It's interesting, for younger players too. They often take the shot with 2 seconds left. It's either a goal or nothing. Holmes shoots it with 8, which makes sure there's still a rebound potential, right? You still can't get it back down. It gives that opportunity and it paid off. A rushing on the Wolves side up here, which personally I would have pulled it out and made sure I got a good shot on it. It was a shot in the middle, but I wouldn't say a strong one. And caused them a goal the other way.
Yep.
And who would you want the ball's hands in? G. Holmes? I always look at it as when you're watching the former Patriots in Tampa Bay now, what's the one thing you don't want? You don't want Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady to have the ball. Exactly. I do not want G to have one more chance out there with the ball in that, and that's what the Wolves gave him, unfortunately.
And he certainly looks best when he's quarterbacking that offense, for sure.
So, we talked about it at the half there, Mitch. What is Coach Tishmeyer saying when he goes outside with his team? He's only got 5 minutes this time to talk. Down by 4 now, which isn't as big as they were in the first. But still quite a deficit, and the momentum's definitely the other way. So what's he saying to them now?
I'd say whatever he said after the first, because it worked for that second. You know what I mean? They were lights out when they came back off of that intermission. You build a relationship with a player you're coaching, and it's moments like this where that relationship is why those kids are going to run through the wall for you. You know what I mean? And they've done such a good job in their organization in Sackville that I know these kids, they have how many? Three kids that graduated in the last 3 years on their bench with mentors like Coach Peace and Coach Titchmarsh, and it's just, they're clearly building the right thing. You know what I mean? People want to be involved. If everybody always wants to be involved in your program, you're doing something right.
I would agree with that. It's interesting, as you were talking about it, I was just looking over by the Hurricanes bench there, and last time they went into the room and had a talk, and Coach McNeil has them standing right beside the bench all together, going through what we need to do for the last 15 minutes, knowing what happened the first time around, making sure that doesn't happen again. It's a game of chess. There's a lot of pieces to this. It's interesting, at the start of the game, we talked about this being a close one, and it is close, but we thought it'd be a low-scoring affair.
For sure.
Definitely the offenses have turned it up in this one and started to find what they were looking for. But it's been a great 3 quarters here, and looking forward to this last one. And we've still got 3 minutes of a rest here, but it's going to be interesting. So I think the Wolves got to go back to that low to high east-west. Again, they fell away from it a little bit in this one, and getting those they're more of a slower team. When they rush it, they have some challenges, but the defense creating turnovers and pushing the ball is helping. So Gage has been Gage. I mean, he's been the top goalie all year. He's only had 1 tie in all of his games. So
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
He's definitely done an amazing job, and they're trusting in him to do that again. So they're really going to have to watch Elfie, though. That's 3 times now he's come all the way from the corner, all the way up top, and really rifling it. He's feeling it tonight. So if I was Coach Titchmarsh, I'd go back to that a few more times.
Yeah, 100%. If I'm, even in my strong my strong lefty, offensive unit with Brassard, Dulong, and let's say Whitford, I'm still going to move that ball for 15, 16 seconds on the left side, and hopefully by that time West is finally, set a couple picks for Muir or something and opens himself up, and then I'm looking for him kind of thing,
I totally agree. And one of the things you said there is working it around for 16 seconds. I still think the Hurricanes have shortened their bench a little early. Yep. And last time it got them tired. And so now's the time where when you rush it, they're getting that opportunity to kind of, get the offense back out. But if you keep that defense out, which is what they did in the second quarter, they're going to get severely tired. They're playing a lot of guys both ways. Grayson's been going both ways. Quite a few of them. That it's a lot in this weather. So
yeah,
humidity is very high in here.
Well, that's a very good point. Humidity, hot rinks. That goalie's wearing 40 pounds of gear. Especially in that first quarter, if you use every shot clock you have, you're at least going to fatigue the goalie. You know, I haven't finished any period quarter of lacrosse and been like, that was easy. You know what I mean? Like, so.
It's interesting. One of the things you said to me when we were talking about, you know, there's nothing better than having a new undershirt, Under Armour shirt under, switching at half, and I haven't seen any goalie switch their shirt underneath.
And the funny thing, though, is that's something I didn't learn until I was like an older adult.
Yeah.
And like out of necessity, I thought I was going to keel over and die in the second intermission. And then somebody, I could have even been a trainer, was like, here, I got a fresh shirt. Maybe that will help you out. And I was like, oh, damn. I feel like just after warm-ups here.
It's funny. I do it. Since you said that, I do it in reffing now, and I'm like a whole new person in the second half. I'm like, wow, this is totally different now.
It's refreshing.
I also changed my socks so they don't feel like running in puddles as I walk around too.
Can't do that with leg pads on, but I respect it.
It's nice to see Gage and Noah crossing there, giving each other 5. Huge respect between those two and how well they played. So,
And clearly friends on both sides of the squads here.
They may not like each other while they're playing, but they have a huge respect for each other, right? You know?
And that's all you can ask for from your athletes.
Going out to close the door from the outside again.
Cow and Dulong set to do battle for the last 15 minutes here of Game 2. Hurricanes up 1-1 after taking Game 1 6-4.
This is a huge quarter here.
Yeah.
2-0 series lead is a big one compared to 1-1. So the Wolves really need this one to come out hard.
1-1 series, knowing you're going to get a game back home is at least something you can, really strive towards or build off of, I should say. As Cowan ends up on the loose ball after the faceoff. Number situation here as Puma puts that ball just behind Wheatley, gets it to Dulong. Oh, a beautiful save there from McPhee. Able to get the left mid out.
I thought Dulong had him there for a second. He went low and high, but Gage rifled that shoulder back up to be able to stop that.
Wheatley over to Dulong again. Dulong, this one rings it off the post. This is how the Wolves need to start this quarter. Broussard cuts to the middle, finds Muir. Muir rolls. That's going to get dislodged from his stick, recovered by McPhee. McPhee gets it up to Grayson. Good choice by Grayson to opt till Glazebrook got lower. As a battle here between Holmes and Puma occurs on the right side. Glazebrook turned back by Puma. He flips it to Grayson. Grayson over to Holmes. Holmes 5 seconds here to work, met by Puma. Good D there from Puma. Able to get that shot off, and Glazebrook recovers the rebound on the doorstep.
Almost similar to Bouchard's goal at the other end in the third there. Rebound off the back wall. You can see it here coming up on the replay. Holmes at the top. Everything runs through him as usual.
And this is it. Great defense here from Puma. Holmes able to get the outside shot, but just enough room for Glazebrook to recover and beat Noah.
That's an unlucky bounce.
It is.
Not much you can say about that. Yeah. There's no one to blame. It just came out to the other side right there on the crease.
That's exactly the truth. No one to blame on that one.
But let's say it's 1-1 because the Wolves got one too.
A loose ball push there will give Hurricanes possession. Grayson jaunts over half, waiting for the second to last offensive player to get out there. As Kennedy steps into one, that's going to somehow make its way to Noah Cox. I thought we were going to see a crease violation there.
It looked like almost a baseball freehand catch. I was waiting for him to throw it to first.
Yeah, barehander, Devers, Bouchard. Good pressure there from the defense of the Hurricanes. West down to Forsyth. Forsyth looks over to the lefty, Broussard. He steps around but goes wide. Forsyth again, attempt on Cage wide.
2 missed shots in a row. They got to get those on the net.
Hurricanes move the ball quickly and efficiently up. 25 seconds to work. Grayson steps into one. That shot hits a stick and ends up on the ground as Tom does a great job there to get in the shooting lane of the Hurricanes. And that Ball will be recovered in the corner by Forsyth.
Mitch, as they bring it up here, are you surprised that they didn't change Noah out?
Yes. Not that Noah's not.
I would agree.
Again, Noah's playing great, but you're down by 5. You need something. And if not, are you going back to Cox in game 3? Yeah. If you're going back to Cox in game 3 tomorrow night, maybe you give him an extended break. Not that I think that you should count yourself out of any playoff game.
Well, Aiden is no slouch as the backup,
and that's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, it's
I just
not
thought you needed a big momentum shift. They started off well and then got one again. Make that quick goalie change, even if it's for a minute.
Yeah.
And see if it changes a little bit momentum. But
this will stay on.
Saved there by Cutter.
Yeah, good job, Cutter. Oh, Grayson takes a rip in the middle. That was a beautiful save from the left elbow of Cox. And Puma transitions this ball well, ends up in a one-on-one. He's going to pull that out and flip to O'Connell. O'Connell over to Wheatley. Wheatley from the wrong side. He'll changes hands and goes to a natural lefty in Broussard. Sets a pick for him. Broussard goes over the top. That hits the stick of Cowan and recovered by the Hurricanes. Good job there by West to recover the ball, get it to Whitford. Whitford all the time. He misses. That's going to hit a Hurricane and go out.
I don't know if you saw that, but Cowan decided to cover the far side of the net by standing in behind Gage on that one.
I respect it. West to Whitford, 25 here on the shot clock, 11 in the period. Goes down low to Pichard. O'Connell comes up with it. He comes around. 15 seconds here to work. Oh, the outside shot misses. And that is going to be a back over here. Good effort there from Lynch to get to space. He'll get the ball up to Allison. Allison down to Campbell. Campbell comes over the top, beats his defender, met by another defender, gets a lane, able to get a great attempt on net from the Islander. That's going to get recovered by Barkhouse and quickly up. Number situation forming here. Barkhouse shoots around. As that stick could have been a follow-through slash as Cutter Devine ate that in the side of the head.
Yeah, interesting to see if Cutter will come back out. He's definitely...
He's feeling it still,
He took something there because he's still touching his head. So
not sure if it was ball or stick.
I'm assuming stick, but could have been the ball too.
The only reason I don't say stick is because I didn't hear anything.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Oh, Holmes steps into one. That is the rebound. Spits out for Campbell. Have to get aggressive on the rebounds if you're Noah Cox, because he's been bit on that a couple times tonight. Normando gets it over half, looks for help off the bench, finds it in Wheatley. As Bichard and Broussard join them on the offensive set. Dulong back over to Wheatley. Wheatley, no shot clock is going here. That's going to be
I wonder if anybody noticed that.
Now it seems to be back on track. Cowan sneaks under Wheatley. He meets Bichard, but has Lynch cutting through the middle, who just gets handcuffed by the pass. Cowan up to Holmes. Able to get into the middle of the floor. Another attempt. Has a good effort there to make the save with the stick hand of Cox. Oh, and another left shoulder save by Noah. And that rebound's going to get picked up by Cooper Puma. And up to his brother Tyler, then up to Wheatley. Wheatley with a break. Oh, he just puts it high. Puma able to recover that and negate the back over.
Good job by Puma to stay on for that rebound, because
Yeah,
that would have gone back over the other way.
Wheatley over to Whitford. 10 on the shot clock. He goes down to Normando. Good pick by Whitford, opens the lane. That shot is swallowed by McPhee. No rebound there. He gets it quickly up to Grayson. And he'll flip it to Kennedy. Over to Grayson. Grayson again catches Cox stepping the wrong way.
Replay here, Mitch. Cut it right down the middle. Grayson has been on fire tonight.
Yeah.
Fire in his stick side there. Beat him to it. Well, it's a beautiful shot. Absolutely beautiful shot. Look at that. Noah being a leader, going over the bench there, telling the boys this ain't over. Still got 8 minutes to go in this one. Took that water break. He didn't touch a bottle of water. Wanted to talk to the team and said, nothing else is going by me anymore.
I remember when I was that young, and I was like, water's just weakness. I don't need water. And then all of a sudden, there's 4 minutes left in the game, and your calf's cramping. Oh, how did this happen? Oh, maybe because I didn't drink any water.
Mitch, I've seen you yell at your bench a few times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I'm also, in that same breath, I'll yell at a bench, but I am the first one to say that was my fault. And I think that's something that young goalies need to be comfortable with, is being accountable for when you screw up. You know what I mean? Because your defense is going to play so much harder in front of you if they turn around and you say, boys, that one was on me. I got the next one. Don't you worry about it.
Agree. I think Noah went over and said, my bad on that. I should have had that. But no more are going by me. You guys need to get 16. Go out there and do it. Nothing else is going by me. I got the rest of them. That's a leadership move by a fifth-year guy.
Little flip there to Glazebrook. Turned aside by Cox. Rebound just spits out into Puma. As Puma gets pushed into the bench there. Could have been was a too many men situation. The officials in the benches did get that one right. Grayson
Interesting
over.
that Puma tried to clear up the bench side.
I know. I don't know if he kind of got shoved in there, but
Possibly, yeah.
recovered here at half by Grayson. No reset as there's still 10 seconds on the shot clock. Holmes steps into that. That is turned aside by Noah Cox, but again, the rebound just missed by Campbell.
I got to say that, we talked about the keys to the game, getting Holmes involved. They've really opened up Holmes this time. But Grayson has really stepped up tonight.
Yes.
Playing a huge game for the Hurricanes on the offensive side of the ball.
And what I like about Francis is, like, it's never the same thing. Like, Alfie West, he's tried that short side shot numerous times. That time he goes for that outside post. But, that's one thing I like about Grayson is everything's different, Barkhouse goes cross crease to Muir. That's going to get kicked, and in the crease was Muir.
I think the Wolves are rushing it a bit here. Need to get set up. Get set up. Your offense has beat them 5-on-5.
Oh, sneaking in the back door was Allison as he fakes forehand, fakes behind the back, and then goes to the short side post of Noah Cox. Here we get a look here. The ball, one thing I've really liked about Cowan is how quickly he always moves with purpose, no matter what. He catches Allison coming out of that back door. Allison fakes kind of far post, fakes behind the back, and able to go back to that short side post he came from.
Cowan's been everywhere tonight.
Yeah.
Like face-offs, loose balls, defense, offense. He's a workhorse for these guys.
Yeah, and I don't think that he is a fifth-year guy by any means.
First,
exactly. Thanks.
He's got a long career here with the Hurricanes, and
he's causing fits for everybody already.
There's always those impact players that are, G. Holmes, you expect a lot of goals from, and Grayson, but there's impact players like a Cowan and, big impact on face-offs and other areas of the game.
And Cooper Puma in the first series came out of nowhere for Sackville. Playoff lacrosse is where that pressure makes diamonds,
Well, last year's playoff is where Tyler Puma came out, I thought. I wasn't as well-known a defender, and then has become one of the best in the league.
Good pressure there from Dulong, able to knock that. And unfortunately, Barkhouse just shovels it down. Good job by Dulong not to take anything on the back there. Oh, and a great check as he's able to get around almost a Rusty Gate style.
Now you see why he's on the provincial field team with that one. Beautiful field check.
The kid is a lacrosse player. There's a lot of them. He is another kid that's a rookie in this league and really an impact lacrosse player. Forsyth goes over the top, looks to go back to West. Now sets a pick for him. West comes around. That shot goes high but recovered. That one again wide. That's going to hit the stanchion in the roof.
Let's start hitting the net.
Exactly. Ain't going to catch any fish if you ain't hitting the net. Or something like that. Cowan over to Allison off the bench. Allison, this time, Cox sticks out that left mitt. And a good check there from Puma. Ooh, as Tom is about to take probably could even be a 5-minute one on that one.
See if
I
think he's only going to give him 2 that late, but he would have the ability to give him 5 for sure.
It
was
definitely
directly
looked a
on
little
the head.
ugly.
No, just 2.
Fantastic for the Wolves.
I think in the end it was unintentional. You said both. It looked worse than it was because both were going the other ways.
Very true.
I was just thinking of Cowan there, and I was just about to say that he reminds me of a young Bouchard. Both ways, loose ball, strong, always moving, always looking. Both ends of the floor.
Yeah, like I see even some mannerisms from Mitch Broussard too. Like, I mean, just the way he opens his hips to the floor kind of thing.
Could be a future captain of the Hurricanes someday.
Yeah, that is the truth. He's certainly playing like it. Good communication here from the PK unit of Sackville. And that's going to get that ball back over. Not every defense is loud, but every good defense is loud. And that is what you need. Communication on the back end starts from the crease. Wheatley goes up to West as they are in an overload situation here. Get it to the weak side in Broussard. He is met by 2 Hurricanes, works his way inside, forces it down low, gets the reset. Whitford almost recovers that. The Hurricanes do.
Great move by Broussard there. He had there was no risk in going for it.
No.
He had a one-on-one. Great attempt.
And that's all you want on an overload. Like, get it to that weak side, have a one-on-one situation, or start sending the cutters. A delayed penalty again to
the Wolves.
The Wolves, excuse us. Not how you climb out of a hole.
I think they're going to use the whole shot clock here.
Oh, good stop there from O'Connell. Able to keep the stick in the lane here.
I didn't see that. It must have been another behind the play.
Agreed.
2 minutes for cross-checking there. Oh, 2 minutes for cross-checking in the crease. So in that situation, obviously one of the Hurricanes had the ball in the crease, and the defender cross-checking in the crease, which is just a straight automatic 2 minutes. So we're going to go to a 5-on-3 again here, Mitch. It's last time the Hurricanes made him pay.
Whew. The frustration of taking a penalty 200 feet away from your crease is making the coaches fume, I'm sure. As Kennedy, he goes high and hard, and that one's over the crossbar. It's going to be a back over as McPhee, a little frustration there, tells his players to hit the net. If only it were so simple, Mr. McPhee. West starts this up on his wrong side. He'll get back to the proper, and Devine shadowing him. Good job by West to see a little gap. He's met by Kennedy. Kennedy all over him. Big outside shot, hits a leg. Good effort. Attaboy, Alfie West able to recover that rebound, or recover that loose ball off of his shot. He gets it again, but no time left on the 30. And looks like a penalty here to the Hurricanes. Again,
Cutter Devine.
Was it Devine? Did not see that. Could have came off of that block.
Again, Mitch, a lot of the calls have been away from the play. The third official kind of supports that, seeing that, which is, we have the 3-man system in the finals. But interesting that a lot of calls away from the play, which is, you want to keep it on the ball if you're going to do something, and everyone's made them pay when they've had a power play.
But this that's why this game is so intense without the greasiness. You know what I mean? Because the frustration of that kid getting hacked and no call is not happening. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, this series has been really great. They're just playing lacrosse.
Yeah,
they're playing hard.
That's
it's physical.
exactly it.
It's everything you want, but there is no greasy stuff that upsets you multiple times. And then it carries over. It's been called and then it's been moved on.
McDougall able to get on the hands of Dulong, sending that one up into the mesh.
We were 5-on-3 and now we're 4-on-4. So the first one from the Hurricanes have come up, and so now we're back to 4-on-4 lacrosse.
For 40 seconds minimum.
2 minutes left in this one, Mitch.
That shot from Francis goes wide. Glazebrook attempts to keep it on half, not able to. 7 goals needed here in the minute 51 left. Might be out of reach, but send a message to the Hurricanes and go out the right way by finishing a couple here late. Forsyth, he takes an attempt at cage. That's just wide. Rebound recovered by Whitford. 14 seconds on the clock. Gets a pick from Normando. Able to get it up to Baird. Baird down to Forsyth. Forsyth, that shot is wide. And that's going to be a back over. Some frustration.
Hurricanes, 1 second left in their penalty before they're out.
Hurricanes, or Wolves, on the power now. As Puma send Barkhouse down to double the ball, or I guess Puma's going to be the double. Has to get there quick. There's a good effort from Campbell to go back and forth, eating up some time. Key here is to not take a penalty. Good job there by Puma to get the stick on the ground, both Pumas. Broussard now, final minute, 44 seconds on the clock. Broussard over to Muir. Muir steps into one. That's off the post. Muir again will start this up.
35 seconds left in the clock, Mitch.
Good job to find Whitford in the middle. That's going to get recovered by the Wolves. And a 100-mile-per-hour shot right at the chest of McPhee. Got to make those opportunities count. McPhee starts this up with 20 seconds left. And that is it, as 10 seconds are left in the fourth and final quarter. The Hurricanes will take a 2-0 stranglehold on this series as they look back to Game 3 tomorrow night in Spryfield, as Gage McPhee takes the bow to the crowd. Certainly deserve it tonight, as he was sharp.
He's been sharp all series. Even last night, played an excellent game and keeping it low and making some big saves at key times tonight for sure. No question about that. So I know the Wolves are a little dejected right now, but they got to make a quick turnaround. I mean, I think for both sides, we're not sure if anybody had offense until tonight, so it was great. I mean, I think the Wolves got to say, look, we buried 9, so let's start with that.
Yep.
And the big thing coming in tomorrow, stay out of the box. That was the killer on both sides.
I would love to see a game sheet, because there had to have been 5 or 6, if not more, power play markers. And when there's a seven goal spread, that adds up quickly.
Oh, exactly, and that was the big killer. Some 5-on-3s that were buried on both, and you just can't allow those opportunities to happen. So, it's good. And you see Gage and Noah out there having little chats, knowing that they just had 2 great battles and are going to be back at it again tomorrow night. So
exactly it. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Mitch Hannigan, and I've been joined by Mr. Commissioner Brendan Smithson. Thanks for coming out, Smitty.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.